Amigos, y qué placer para mí poder compartir este segmento de educación con una personalidad interesante y un orgullo para nuestra comunidad. Y él es Johnny Patterson.
Thank you.
Welcome to Aquitvshow.
Thank you for having me.
Bueno, so Johnny Patterson, tell us a little bit about your position as the CEO and president of Commonwealth Education Connections.
Well, it's about growing charter schools in disadvantaged area for poor and underserved students and parents. Currently, we're putting applications into different school districts where we see a need, where there's lack of parent and community engagement, and also lack of educational outlets that provide quality education, high education to students of color and minority students across the country.
So the goal of expansion is actually to have a site in different states.
Correct.
Can you give us like a little hint of which states are you looking for to expand?
We're looking forward to expand definitely in Pennsylvania, New York, the Westchester County area, and Maryland right now are our three target locations. But we're putting emphasis on Westchester County area because we see the disparities in Westchester County, which are great far as race, economic status, and socioeconomic status as well, where certain dollars based on where a student lives are allocated to them versus if the Mount Vernon, for instance, may get a less amount of tax dollars for a student, where as if you go to Harrison or Rye, it's 20 times more money. And that shouldn't be. If education is education, it should be level playing field all the way across the board.
Definitely, I do agree with you. So now tell me a little bit about the curriculum that you're looking to implement within the Commonwealth Education Connection Program.
The curriculum that we're implementing is an international affairs model where our model is act locally, think globally. And with that being said, there are different languages that students will take at our school, Mandarin, French, German, Italian, and of course Spanish. And we will connect with the different consulate generals of those countries where our students will be able to go abroad for 2 years after learning the language to stay 2 months during the summer to actually apply the language that they've learned.
Wow, that's excellent. And where are you planning to actually launch? Which state are you looking to pretty much open up the first
We
school?
have a school opening in Baltimore in August, and then we're looking at our next state, which would be New York. So we're looking in the Westchester County area. We're looking for teachers that are innovative, that are looking to flip education on its head and do something different than what's been put out there via Common Core and other educational models that are not really helping the kids. It's a failed model.
Wow. So Johnny, can you please tell us which state are you looking to open the first school?
Our first school will be opening in Baltimore at the end of the current school year. So we're looking to open in September of 2016, and then we're looking to expand rapidly into the Pennsylvania and also New York, but particularly Westchester County area.
Now, what is your experience in education and what inspired you to move into this direction, which is a needy area?
What inspired me was I worked in, first I have no formal education training whatsoever as far as being a teacher or an administrator, but what inspired me was when I worked in the Bloomberg administration, 1 year we closed 12 schools, and when I looked, it wasn't in any of predominantly wealthy areas of the city. They were all in poor Black and Latino areas. The following year, when I was still working for Mayor Bloomberg, we looked at Chicago, for instance, which closed 50 schools, and then they closed 75 schools the following year. Then Philadelphia, where I'm from, they proposed to close 43 schools, but end up closing 23 schools. Wow. So when I looked at it, once again, they were all predominantly in Black and Latino and minority areas. And when I looked at it, I said, what can I do to help to bring quality education to disadvantaged students in poor neighborhoods? And it clicked when I saw this. I said, I see education as our new 21st century civil rights movement, with the way we're fighting for equal funding for education. We're fighting for equal rights for our kids to go to top quality schools. It just shouldn't be one or two schools within a district that has let's say 100 schools, there's only 1 or 2 schools that are top quality schools, and they have a lottery for 6 slots. So, you know, I said, let me look at what Harlem Children's Zone did. Let me look at what Superintendent or Chancellor, Michelle Reed did in DC. And one of my mentors, Paul Vallis, who was a reform superintendent and CEO of the Philadelphia, New Orleans, Haiti, and Bridgeport school districts, made great strides. So I looked at what they did and said, you know, this is the type of model, and we came up with the model that we wanted to do. And so we said, this is the model that we're going to go with. And so far, it's been pretty good.
Wow. So now that you spend your time doing that research, and I know that one of the things that inspired you was the fact that many schools were being shut down, especially
Right.
in areas that were pretty much Latino and African American.
Right.
So what do you feel, or what do you think is the reason for the lack of, you know, education and the reason why so many schools are being labeled as not, you know, productive?
A lot of schools are being labeled non-productive, one, due to lack of parent and family engagement in students' lives, and also in the school community itself. You know, a school, for most of these communities, the school is the nucleus of the community, and it brings out the culture in the community. And when the school's not doing good, the community's not doing good.
Exactly.
And so it's a trickle-down effect. So the school's not doing good, the community's not doing good, and so in turn, the community, if it's not doing good, it can't make the school better until you start putting different things in place that incentivize people to want to get involved in their children's education, or you make it so much fun for kids that they can't wait to get to school. You just can't keep beating kids over the book with a Common Core set of standards, or just lesson plan that was developed back in 1970 and you're still teaching it for today.
Exactly.
So we have to be translucent with the time that we're living in and adapt. And charter schools have that ability where they work outside of the normal framework of traditional Common Core curriculum or schools curriculums, where they have more autonomy to come up with something that's going to work for their kids. And if it doesn't, they have the ability to try something different as well.
Excellent explanation. Now we are going to go for some commercials now, but we will continue, and I want you to tell me a little bit about your politic experience. So stay tuned, and we will be back in a few minutes.
Este y todos los sábados, sintoniza tu programa favorito, Aquitvshow. Claro que ya es por Super Canal Caribe. Educación, farándula, información, entrevistas exclusivas y todo lo que buscas en un solo programa. Con la profesora Milka Medina. Aquitvshow por Super Canal Caribe. El programa que lo tiene todo, Aquitvshow. Con la profesora Milka Medina. Hola, profe.